Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video right here on Cardano. We're going to do a full update on Cardano right here. We'll talk about the technicals, we'll talk about some fundamentals briefly, because I wanted to talk about the ETF, right? I mean, Cardano is obviously one of the coins that's most likely in 2025 that is going to get an ETF. I made a video yesterday while I get an alert coming in. I made a video yesterday about all of the ETFs that are most likely coming in 2025, right? So that those coins that have like a 90 to 95 probability of getting an ETF, in which I also spoke about Cardano. That video is going live today. So if you're interested in that, check that out. Now, a little bit of a spoiler alert, I'm not too enthusiastic about a Cardano ETF. And that's for multiple reasons. I mean, first of all, I think fundamentally, and I know you're part of the Cardano community, of course, and maybe you don't like me saying this, but I always need to be realistic in my videos. And at this point of time, fundamentally, I'm not the biggest fan of Cardano. If you look at the metrics, right? So if you take a look at DEX trading volumes, if you take a look at the TVL, you can just see a massive downtrend. And yeah, I mean, here and there we have spikes in the DEX trading volumes, and we have spikes in the TVL, but ultimately at this point of time, the TVL is lower, or it was at the same levels as November 2023. Right, so ultimately not that much of a fan of that, and just think that and you know, the Cardano ETF has also not been applied for by many amazing institutions, etc., which Solana, for example, does have. So ultimately, I think the potential for Cardano ETF is lower, although I mean it does probably drive some institutional demand. But all right, let's talk about Cardano for now. So we're still in that area, kind of consolidating and trying to create a deviation at least below the major trend. I mean, you can, or below the major structure. The major structure has been a consolidation in this area for the majority of the time, but you can see that we have had deviations below, and so far deviations below have always turned into a reclaim and a move back up, and that's also still what I do expect for Cardano, right? So my thoughts on the fundamentals do not necessarily cloud my thoughts on the technicals. I think the market is strong enough. I think Cardano is strong enough to get back into the range and to at least get back up to the 90-day rolling VWAP right here at 67 cents, but also to get up to the point of control around 70 cents. So this is what I do expect. Now, I have to say that, do I necessarily, do I know when this is going to happen? Obviously not. And am I convinced that we're going to do something like this very soon? No, I think Cardano actually it's not bad price action, right? Because if we zoom in to Cardano right here, what you can see is some nice stability. But the thing is that if we're expecting a reclaim, right? So that's so that's a breakout technically above 60.5 cents. You want to see some constructive price action, and at this point of time, the price action is not that constructive. We're not really holding the 7-day rolling VWAP well, which is something you do want to see if you are expecting breakouts. For example, with the bearish pressure on Friday, all coins had bearish pressure, of course, but Cardano left an imbalance right here, which works as a bit of a magnet to the price, right? Price tried to get there, didn't even get there. A lot of altcoins did. A lot of altcoins are trading higher even than there. So there's just this general weakness. And then on the other side, I mean, we left imbalances as well last week, Wednesday, and you can see that area was respected quite well. So it's not all bad. But there's things left to be desired on both sides, and that's why I would say short term it is still, unfortunately, more likely that we will consolidate. And then fundamentals can change things, and fundamentals can also cause a bit of a drop. If that happens, I would still say it's most likely we're going to do something like this. But at this point of time, short term, I think that stability is still more likely than to get that bullish reclaim. But things can change. Keep your eyes on the 60.5 cents, so 0.605. I will keep you updated on that as well, of course. But for now, I think that's what you need to know. So thank you for watching. I'll see you on my next videos, and bye.